All right, this is the YardsMan hose nozzle, and it's, I don't know, I look at it as like a fireman hose for some reason, but it's got the forward handle and the big spray nozzle like that. Okay. We're gonna take this, we've taken this apart and we've changed all the O-rings on it. You wanna change every O-ring. Almost every piece on this has an O-ring on it. There's an O-ring on the front and on the back of the nozzle tube. Both of the rear end caps have one, and both of these little wing notch for the lever actuator has a, so there's quite a bit of O-rings involved here. So what you want to do, if you've taken it apart, you'll know how to put it back together, but if you haven't, what in God's name was that? I didn't see that part on the last one. Oh, it's right there. That is weird. So those were supposed to come off with this then. Either way, it'll go on. You want to put these in first. Get them on there. Okay. I think I see what's up. This is a newer model. I'm sorry, this is the older model. I need that other washer.
Right there.
Where? It's not cracked. The last one didn't have a nylon piece on it, so I just put in together an other newer model of this same rig here. All right. So this washer doesn't go there.
I think you put it on after you put the screw in from the outside. Because it was on the outside. It probably sits against this or something.
No. Trust me. Trust me. Because it was, this one was just sitting there like that still. When I, it's weird. So it's got to be, it'll force fit it in there. You want your notch upside down. There we go. Oh, where'd that go? If I can push it on the outside. Just get in there. It's so stubborn. I'll push that in deeper once I get the ball in. Okay. Now for this. Whatever. And that one's an upside down too. Okay. Slide that little thing up in there. Lost that other O-ring.
Tell me to end this.
No.
It's right there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, if those nylon, if you have the older valve, just wait to put them back, because we're going to put this. This looks like a football helmet, right? It's got a little notch cut out on the edges. That's where those little valve actuators went in there. It's got this little nipple. That nipple faces the rear cap. Okay? There's a trick to this. You got this male and female tube end cap here. I'm gonna put the helmet upside down just like this with the nipple pointing upward. You're gonna make sure that these are in the downward position and that they're receptive to that little valve, ball valve. You wanna make sure that they're perfectly perpendicular. This is off just a hair. But the ball valve may squeeze it in there, so let's just try it out. Oh, neat. You can actually see in there with this hose nipple off. I had that so close too. Maybe the washers go on the outside on this one. And that's what Tinkerbell's been trying to tell me this whole time. Just think the thing just won't go in there. And that's why it was inferior and they swapped it out. it's set now. It's weird, I get one of them to fit perfect, and then the other one's looking all janky. So, I want that nipple up, nice and square. I have it, I don't know why it's not going in. I'm just gonna force it in then. Look at that. Playa. Okay. That's doing nothing. Why is that O-ring even there if it's doing nothing? Maybe because it's old. Did you just replace this?
Let's see.
It says a bunch of sediment on it.
Yeah, that's the one I did.
This one's old though. Will the washer on? Okay. That washer seems pretty good. I'm gonna leave that one alone, because the last one was really hard to get in. So I don't know. It seems too easy to get in. Like that's not. There's a door. There's a flange in there that it'll set in. It's a good tight fit. This cone, you gotta make sure. Uh-oh. Don't cross thread that. That's a really heavy thread. It's way stronger than that thread. So you don't want to cross thread it. That washer's got to be changed. How did I get that last one on there? Go through the other side. See on there, but this one super hard to get in. But you need it to, because you don't want this to be able to unscrew the nose in the middle of doing the deed. So you want to get it square and then thread it in. And it will thread in as soon as you get it there. So that's where the big pliers come in. try not to grab that new O-ring if you can, if you have anything to do with it. See how much harder that turns now? So now, when I turn this, it won't back it out. And you want to make sure that you are not cross-threading these big threads, which it will try to cross-thread on you. There you go. Then open it, leave it open, because it'll just blast water all over you, if not. So then you got your ball valve in. Your wings are obviously in there because they're holding the ball valve. This goes in first into the ball valve. Then this male version goes over that. And then your end cap has a little donut flange, a female donut flange that this O-ring sits in. And this you don't want to cross thread either, so you really just want to take your time and make sure your threads are getting nice and tight on these. Because if you don't, there will be hell to pay. A little bit of tinkering. Okay. Now the hose. These have male notches, and they go right into this little half circle female notch. So you want your male notches on top, and you want this little tiny slant cut out of that circle, that small notch out of the circle. You want them facing downward. Mine are both facing perpendicular to the floor, well, parallel with the floor, sorry. And then that'll sit right in there nice and flush. So, you got your tip head here. And I believe this has something to do with the cone spray, on how much your tip is going to actually spray for a cone shower, I believe. It may, I don't know. Because the last one I put on didn't really have one at all. So obviously get that threaded in a few times with your hand. It doesn't have to be super tight. And then these are Phillips head bits, and these you also really want to be careful with. Really try to get at least a turn on this with your finger if you can, which this one obviously isn't going to let me do. We'll see. We'll see if it tries to find itself or fights itself. All right, so this old version is going to want to just go into plastic. The newer one kind of rides in a little easier. That must be what that nylon thing is. It's catching the thread. Nylon washer. You do want to get these pretty tight, because if you don't, then once you pull this, it'll strip off that half circle. And as soon as you strip this plastic piece, it's basically ineffective. But you don't want to get it so tight that you're stripping the screw, because then the whole thing's ineffective already. So that has good feel. We can go ahead this away. Now I'm gonna save all these washers just because they seem, a lot of them seem like they may be useful in the future. So I'm just gonna put them right in my plumber's box here with these other O-rings. It's just always good to save your stuff. Life is not a race, and there's no one telling you you can't. You're a big boy now. So if you have the room for it, it's usually best to save it. That's my Milwaukee pack-out box. I've got a few of these. These are really great, very rigid, waterproof. You can lock them. They click together. I mean, I've got one for plumbing, two for plumbing. Well, one for plumbing, one for PEX, and one for electric. And they are great because they come together, and usually you're doing those 3 jobs somewhat within each other, and they all kind of meet at the job site. So it's good to have everything connected. And they're light. You can, just grab it and go. Like I said, very rigid. You can throw it in the back of the truck and nothing's gonna hurt it. So, unlike that, these Harbor Freight buckets suck. I sat on it and it broke. Huh. 2 more O-rings. So we're gonna go test this hose handle. Go ahead and shut that off. Let out the pressure. This is the other one that I just did. That's running perfect now. Now, before I started this little session, these were not working at all. They were leaking out of every orifice, and there was no control in any pressure. So, ooh, I forgot to check. This one doesn't have a hose washer. I need to go get a hose washer for this. It's always good to save your packaging and save your paperwork in there, because you can go back and refer instead of going, well, I don't know what washers this was, but before you even leave your home, you can literally know exactly what type of washer it was 2 and 3 and 4 years down the road. And if you keep your packaging good, these won't get lost and they'll be in very good condition 2 and 3 and 4 years down the road. So I'm just gonna put it in there and just give it a nice flat edge seat down past all those threads, just so they're nice and flat. By the way, that's a 5/8 garden hose washer. I call it a flat washer, flat hose washer. All right. We're out here at midnight making garden hose YouTube videos. We'll look back on this one and laugh. And I'll be able to look at myself while I do it. All right, we'll turn this water on. Hope it don't go like a dam ready to explode. Okay, this is the older model, and it looks like I have some end cap pressure. I must not have changed the washer on that end. But it wasn't leaking there. Did I open it? That's weird. Oh, cool. You can shut it off in reverse. In that way. Cool. Well, maybe we'll just save this for spare parts. Maybe I'll fix it. But I'm not doing it tonight. So, well, there you have it. That's the YardsMan hose handle here. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you've gotten this far. Thanks for watching. Main Man Squanto, out.